Alabama. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Tommy Battle, Mayor Paul Finley, and Commissioner Chair Dale Strong.
All right, Isaac, who do you want us to kick off? I'll kick off. I usually just follow Paul and say ditto.
That is absolutely not true. That's what I do.
Works so well, You know, right now what we're seeing tremendous growth. And, you know, I think we can all see that. Go around the wheel. You look up north, you look at Facebook, you look at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, who's growing. To the east, you've got everybody sitting in Madison County Industrial Park, PPG, Mitchell Plastics, growth there. To the south, you look at SCI, San Mina, and then to the west, of course, we have Mazda Toyota. Mazda Toyota is right now in the midst of hiring 4,000 people. The 17 suppliers who are located around them are another 2,400 people. So 6,400 people are going to be hired out there. They are probably at 2,000, 2,200 right now, and they've got to hire those people by the end of the year. So that is a lot of pressure coming on our workforce right now. And we did that. We did that purposely because 5 years ago, 8 years ago, we'd see 200 jobs open up at Toyota Motor Manufacturing, and we'd have 10,000 applications. That told us that we had a lot of people who were underemployed. We had a lot of people who held jobs right now which were looking for better jobs. And so now we have the better jobs. But as we have those better jobs, we're seeing people leaving the hospitality industry, the restaurant industry, the hourly workers that we use to cut grass in ditches and places like that. They're leaving those and going to these jobs that are high paying, have benefits. They allow you to raise a family, and allows you to become a prosperous member of our society. So we're seeing jobs come out in every different sector of this town. We're also seeing residential growth, north, south, east, west. You look at it, there's residential growth. Then you look at the middle, what I call the middle, which is either downtown or Research Park. Research Park is growing, and the interesting thing is you're not seeing buildings growing, but you're seeing jobs being added to it because a lot of people are still working from home. They're teleworking. And so Research Park is having some, what I would call natural growth, but coming out of it. Redstone Arsenal, Dale and Paul and I are out there on a regular basis, and Redstone Arsenal is now, you know, with FBI coming in and having, I think they've got 85 different tenants sitting out there at that federal arsenal, which is really just a federal campus. So we're having growth right in there. And then you look at the downtown area, and our downtown area, you come by any night, and you can see why you're having growth. We're having people out where it used to be at 5 or 5:30, we kind of rolled up the streets. Now you see people out all the time. And it's because people are living downtown. People are live, work, play, the urban developments. But the urban developments are how we're going to attract that workforce of tomorrow. That is the key for us. We've got to have baseball stadiums and AA baseball. That attracts the workers of tomorrow. We've got to have amphitheaters, attracts the workers of tomorrow. A music commission attracts the workers of tomorrow. Greenways, parks, all the things that add to a quality of life. That is going to be our key for growing our workforce and meeting the demand that we have been able to bring the jobs in for. The greatest problem to have is that you have more jobs and you have people to fill them. That is a great problem to have, but we've got to solve that problem too. We can't just sit back and say, well, good luck. We hope it works. We are investing heavily into quality of life issues right here in Huntsville. Everything from roads to greenways to parks to the urban developments that are happening throughout this area. Those are very important to us. If we have those, we'll be able to continue to grow. And as we continue to grow, we will grow our infrastructure with us, and we'll have that same quality of life tomorrow as we have today. The key is we can't outrun our infrastructure. And that's going to be, that's our challenge for the three of us, is making sure that we don't outrun our infrastructure. We're going to send Dale to Washington. He's going to send us a lot of money back. And as he sends that money back, we will spend it wisely, and we'll make sure that we keep the area growing for you, Dale.
Thank you,
Good.
Mayor. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and ask for more. We'll be on your doorstep all the time. You will have to put up with us. Paul?
Yeah. Us.
That's right.
Yeah, it's,
I got to pay him after this is over.
I truly do get to say and echo what Tommy said. I think he hit all the major points. You know, to me, it's always and has been since we came into office, it's infrastructure. In this case, it's education. And it's a partnership and working together to obtain as much as we can. And the biggest problem we have right now, it has been accomplished years and years. You know, one thing about it, I think, you know, when we have the Metropolitan Planning Organization meetings, and Dale chairs those, but you know, about 360, probably a little bit more than that, $1 million in road projects that are happening in this area right now. And it's still, we all know it's just not enough. And so but it's happening in all facets from, you know, and what I love about our community, and I think every one of us first is thrilled to be back together with people again. But what I love about our community is we're problem solvers. You know, everything kind of flows up Huntsville Madison County Chamber of Commerce, and we figure out from an economic development standpoint how we work together to get the jobs. But when a problem such as I-565 arises, we all work together to petition for some of that money to be taken care of and given to us, so we can 6-lane to get people in and out from, you know, the west and then from the east. So about $360 million in road projects that are trying to make a difference and keep up. In Madison's case, I can tell you that, you know, one of the best things we did coming in 2016, put a commission in place that could help us figure out how we solve, in essence, the school problem, which then meant that we could continue to keep the pipeline open for housing. We had outgrown what we could maintain from a school side. So when we put that in place, they in turn or what the actual size was, the schools then defined success. And so we will open up the Midtown Elementary School this year. We'll open up the new middle school next year. And we also have the money to put into the 2 high schools. And so we're set up to continue to grow at a moderate pace. And, you know, we're not closed completely down. We just have to manage it appropriately to be able to continue to keep up. In Madison's case, one of the things that I commend Tommy when he came in 2008 is he recognized if we're going to get more folks that want to come here to fill these jobs, and a lot of them are the millennials, Huntsville can't roll up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And you now go down there. I went down there Friday night to go to the Black Jacket Symphony concert, which was awesome, by the way, with Queen. How vibrant, I mean, I don't get down there enough, and it's just so vibrant down there. There's so many people moving around, walking around, enjoying themselves. Madison is well on our way to getting there also. The Sealy project, which is about 190 units in downtown Madison, is there. People have already started moving in. Right next to it is our revision of Home Place Park, which is an amphitheater that will seat about 700 people. So we can now have concerts in the park, and it's right next to the football stadium, which is of course just north of where we're building the new middle school. So we see what's happened in Huntsville. We're, you know, yeah, usually about 10 years behind as far as trying to catch up, but we are, because we know that the core of your city needs to be strong. And then again, I think one of the best things we've done collectively and collaboratively is find jobs. And those jobs mean people want to continue to come, and we have to fill them. And you guys then have the ability to sell in those houses. And I'll be short and let you guys ask the questions, but I want to thank you guys, because you are the first touch for so many of those folks when they come into our area. And I'm really proud of what we collectively continue to do to make your job easy, because we're adding things that improve quality of life. You know, it's in every facet of that. And so, you know, from Midtown to the baseball stadium, which again, you know, the first home game we finally get to play is next Tuesday night, you know, to the amphitheater, to so many different things, the revision of the VBC. You know, we're trying to stretch the money that we have to be as successful as we can. And hopefully it makes your all's job easy in one sense, hard in another, because I know inventory is tough right now. But we're blessed to live in this area, and our goal is to continue to work hard to make your jobs easy. Dale?
Thanks. Well, it's great to be with you again. You think about 2012, I remember coming here and started talking about something called diversification of an economy. Well, that's what us three participated in these last 9 years. You think about in 2012, we had an 8.2% unemployment rate here in Madison County. It's unbelievable, 9 years ago. Madison County, the commission, we were in financial, not ruins, but we were in financial concerns. Look where we're at today. You think about what working together, what can happen when all of us work together. We've proven it. 25,000 new jobs to North Alabama. You look at what we have brought. We've been a part of bringing the FBI here, 800 people in seats right now, with another 1,500 coming in 2021 and another 1,500 coming in 2022. Did you hear me? 1,500 coming into 2021 and another 1,500 coming in 2022. Then you start looking at things that are going on. What did that lead to in 2012, 13, 14, 15? It led to Polaris. It led to GE Aviation, Aerojet Rocketdyne. It led to Blue Origin. This is what happens when you work together. We did a better job of telling the rest of this country and the rest of the world of what our capabilities are here in North Alabama. You start looking at UAH. UAH has an average ACT test score of 28.5. You start looking, they went over 10,000 students. A university started in 1950 because of a vision of Warner Von Braun, and look what that vision has led to. You look at Redstone Arsenal, FBI, you look at Space Command, it's coming, another 1,400 jobs right here for North Alabama. Why is that happening? Because our community is working together. We're taking it as a regional approach rather than trying to go it alone, and that's what we have. We have a labor shed from 17 counties in North Alabama and Southern Tennessee that travel every day to Redstone Arsenal. It's because of this team right here working together, and we've proven that we can do better. We've let the rest of the country and the rest of the world know what we can do. Look at Mazda Toyota in a huge competition there. What we did is we presented our community and we said, this is what we've done. Those relationships that we built with Toyota that started in 1995, 96, and 97, I think that led to another opportunity here in Limestone County. You look at 4,000 jobs coming there and the list goes on, but this is because we have worked together. Redstone Arsenal producing more than 10% of the entire GDP of the state of Alabama. That's what Redstone Arsenal means. 38,000 acres behind that wire, and we're intellectual properties managing every missile defense project that protects the Western Hemisphere, and our day's not over yet. You start looking at some of the other things that have occurred just in recent days. You start talking about just in recent months, the Madison County Commission in unincorporated Madison County, we've approved 1,300 new single-family home lots just in a matter of months. Our county is growing. Mayor Finley and Mayor Battle, we all serve on the Metropolitan Planning Organization. You think about it, just in several years ago, we had $100 million in road projects. The mayor just mentioned we've got $388 million in transportation projects, either recently completed, under construction, or in design, and we're not done yet. Once again, it shows what we're doing when we work together, pushing the federal projects, pushing the state projects, being sure that our governor, our highway director understands what our needs are here. When many counties are declining in population, Mobile, Montgomery, and Jefferson, what did the census data show you about Madison County and North Alabama? We grew by more than 5%. We saved the seventh congressional seat for Alabama. Many of you might not understand what that means, but that would have been very critical to our community if all of a sudden we lose representation in Washington, D.C. We can't afford that right now, nor can our nation afford not to know what Madison County and North Alabama does for our national defense. I want to commend these two mayors. You start looking at what's going on. We're recruiting young professionals to our community. And it used to be all they wanted to make a stop in New York or Chicago or Atlanta or somewhere else. We're recruiting directly out of Auburn, Alabama, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, Mississippi State, and that's what we have to offer here. You look at it, the amphitheater. this is what's going to bring young professionals. You look at Toyota Field, this is what's going to bring young professionals. And what we're doing is our testimony of those people that we recruited through base realignment and closure. We're using them to tell the rest of the world what we have to offer here, because people, after they see our community, they're never going anywhere else because they know what we have to offer. Low taxes has paid off. Our 3 public school systems are very successful. Once again, it shows what we can do when we work together. Thank you for letting me be your chairman of the Madison County Commission.
You're in charge.
All right, let's open this up for questions. Anybody have any questions? Lori Hislop.
That's one of the things I think that we've all recognized. We've got to grow our departments as we grow our number of people here. We have just, gone from having, I think it was 3, 4, 3 in the separate set areas, electrical, mechanical, and the building side, to 5, 5, 5. The good news is that we've hired 5. The bad news is that 2 got hired away from us by somebody else. If any of you have to hire anybody, do not hire one of my inspectors. That's the rule. That is one of the hardest trades to keep in place, because they've each got a card. I mean, they've got a builder's card, or they've got an electrical card, and they have the expertise that you can demand top dollar for right now. But we're as fast as we lose them, we're hiring them back, hiring somebody else back. But our goal is to have 5 people in each one of the departments, so that we can cover 5 areas of town.
Really, it's retention right now. That's the hardest thing for us. It's hard even.
How many do y'all have?
Not as many as we had before, since you keep taking some of them. So,
Just wonder if you have a few extras will come.
yeah. So, but we literally just lost one as a custodian. I say custodian, a full maintenance person to one of the schools, because they just needed someone who's easier job for them. So we're in the same boat. We're trying to hold up, and you didn't take any of those folks. But we lost somebody out of revenue that in turn just found another position and because Huntsville has more opportunity and more layers, they had someplace else to go. So we're just like all trying to keep them hired right now so we can support what's going on.
Any other questions? Sean?
Aside from the serious labor issues our area faces, the lack of affordable housing complicates the matter further. What plans does the city have to address the serious lack of affordable rentals/housing? If anything, will it need to allow variances to zoning so that workers can utilize trailers to live in on-site and around the area?
Right. Affordable housing is something that we really have to look at. When I first became mayor, I'd never thought about affordable housing. I thought, hey, let's build these areas up and let's make somebody's home value worth more, where you can have more value out of your home. And if you end up selling your home, you make money out of it. And we did that in Low Mill. We've done that in Terry Heights. We've done that now starting in North Huntsville, as you look at the housing prices as they go up. On the other side, for every yin, there's a yang. So on the other side, the yang is that we have our affordable housing is getting out of the affordable range. So we're working quite frankly with a lot of churches, a lot of nonprofits, working for affordable housing, that the housing will be built and or rehabbed, and it will remain as affordable. We're doing a lot of the HUD deals that you end up doing. 10% are dedicated to affordable, and affordable is not really is not really low income. Affordable now is family of 4, 50, 55,000, something like that. So I mean, it's not something that you have to you're not hitting the lowest of low end. You just want to stay affordable for the people who are, the people who right now we can't find out in the community, to work, the restaurant workers, the hotel motel workers, the workers on some of the lower socioeconomic end jobs, but that we have to have. And those are important. So we've got to maintain some housing around the city that can be affordable for them.
Thing I'll add, and I go back, I always am remiss if I don't talk about Mayor Wells, because, you know, when Jan Wells was the mayor, we didn't have very much money at all in the city of Madison. We were struggling to keep up with anything. And I think we've continued to work diligently as we've grown to build up our base and our coffers. And so one of the things that we are blessed with right now is strong revenues that are coming in. And I think the best thing we can do for affordable housing is reinvest a lot of that money in areas that aren't brand new. And so a perfect example is we just spent almost $1.5 million on a walking path all the way down Wall Triana on a lot of the lower housing units to make it easier for them to get up and down safely to the places that they needed to go. We're investing money into a lot of our neighborhood parks, a lot of them from the east side, which in turn, it's older playground equipment. If you turn that back around, we're doing sidewalks, we're doing connectivity. So we recognize in a lot of instances, we won't be able to control on one side the bigger houses, but for all of the houses, we want to make sure that it's fair and equitable, and that money is getting reinvested back into areas we have it, you know, and we want to spend it in the.
Next question. Yes, ma'am.
My question is about Research Park.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I drive through there quite a bit. I see the concrete barriers and people were working and now they're not working, and every once in a while, I mean, and I'm not really clear on even what is that a new lane they're building there, and any idea on when that's going to be finished?
Research Park Boulevard is going to be expanded to 6 lanes, where it was 4 lanes. It's going to be expanded to 6 lanes. It's probably got, they've made some really good strides on it. I think it's probably end of the year that it starts going. And you know, it's really hit the perfect time during COVID time. I mean, there are 43,000 people working out at research on the Arsenal. And during COVID, 25% of the people were coming into work. So, you know, the construction was at a perfect time that we needed to take advantage of. Right now at Research Park, there's 30,000 people work there, probably teleworking. There's probably 20,000 people doing teleworking right now. And that's slowly going to come back. It'll come back. Now, I think what we're going to end up seeing is we're going to see some hybrid working situations where people come in for 3 days and they go home for 2 days or something. As long as they can hit the numbers or the milestones that they're supposed to be doing in their projects, you know, a lot of people will stay at home. And you know, one of our executives, in fact, Tom Stanton from AdTran was saying, I'm worried about all the people working from home that we may burn out a whole bunch of workers, because I'm seeing emails coming in at 10 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning, of people who get rolling on a project and they can't stop. He said, you know, there's, and we're hearing the same thing from other executives, you know, CEOs from across the park. So you're going to see a different workforce. You're going to see less people on the roads because more people are going to work from home. One of the things we didn't take into account 7 years ago when we decided to put fiber to the home, and we used Huntsville Utility as the backbone of that to put it in. You know, we set it up with a master lease from Google that would make the payments on the 20-year bonds that it cost to put it in. And we thought, you know, we really wanted to be a gig city so we could compete with Chattanooga's and other places around like that. But the magic of it was we didn't know there would be a pandemic coming. Nobody did. But the pandemic came and we still had people who could work from home and do the same thing from home that they could do from work, because they had the fiber in front of their house with the big portals and the capacity to carry large amounts of data. That really helped us in the city of Huntsville be able to keep a workforce going. As long as the workforce was able to still work, they still got paychecks. They spent them in your community. They might not have spent them in your restaurants, but they sure did spend them in Home Depot and Lowe's. And everybody did a home improvement project during that period. So everybody's yard ought to look real good this year.
And y'all have to take the credit because I know you planned that, because you foresee that coming.
We'd rather be lucky than good.
That's it.
We have time for one more question. Anybody? Shay?
And just to re-echo what everybody said, thank y'all for all you do. But one of the things I keep hearing coming up, and we know we see as a problem, is the service and hospitality industry and how we, even in a regular year, have a hard time from personal experience staffing those industries. We don't have the Donnie Dempseys of the world anymore who are making that a career.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans in any of your areas on how to help these businesses or ways to help our communities to staff these type of industries?
Yeah.
I'll tell you this right here, we're all dealing with the same thing. It doesn't matter whether it's that industry or whether it's driving triaxle dump trucks. I know a company that came to me the other day, they got 300 openings right now. Rogers Group that acquired Reed Contracting, met with them last week, 300 jobs there. One thing that we've got to do is we got to stop these packages coming out of DC paying people to stay
Oh,
home.
God, yeah.
That's what we got to stop. We've got people. We got people that have been offered 2 and 3 jobs that are not accepting them. And so they'd rather stay at home and draw unemployment. This is the greatest country in this world, but I'll tell you this right here, there are some faults that we've got to correct. I know that we're glad to be here. Those COVID press conferences we were doing, we're like kids just getting out of the house, man. We're so glad to talk about what's going on here today. And I'm gonna tell you this right here, none of us apologize for this market we've got. It's been hard work. You've been a part of it. There's cities and there's states in this country that wish they had the problems that we've got. I'm proud to have the problems where we need more people in the work market. You think about it, from an 8.2% unemployment rate, we dropped that to 2.1 pre-COVID. It's about 3% right now. And of those 3%, many of those don't want a job. So what we're doing right now is we're working in our high schools to say, look, what can we do to draw more into the industry? There may be some that don't want to go to college, but we can go and get them a CDL Class A driver's license, come out immediately making $18 an hour, or they can come out and be a drafts person, or they might want to work in the hotel industry or whatever it may be. There's a lot of jobs that are here, and we're not only recruiting here, it's multiple counties in North Alabama and also in Southern Tennessee, but our finest hours are still ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.